kind of do them out of the house here, and try and make the most of whatever the situation is, attention or whatever, and do your own thing. Because there's no real I guess there's no real guidelines that I kind of abide by.
This used to be easier as a kid. Life, that is. Hey, you know what else? As a kid, I heard about this movie a lot growing up. And then I finally saw it a few years ago when it came on Turner Classic Movies. And watching it for 5 minutes turned into 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. So My Dinner with André from 1981 is a drama, avant-garde, maybe, movie or something, I don't know, directed by Louis Malle, who made movies from the 50s up until the mid-90s, and the films directly preceding and following this one were more of kind of gangster crime sort of movies, so this is somewhat of a departure for him. And it's both written and starring Andre Gregory and Wallace Shawn. And the plot's pretty easy to describe because there isn't one. Pretty much just Wally goes to meet Andre at a fancy restaurant. He meets him there, and they just talk about a whole lot of different things for about 2 hours, and then that's kind of it. It's basically the movie. Most people would recognize Wally Shawn as being the principal on Clueless, or being the voice of T-Rex in Toy Story, or from Princess Bride. Andre Gregory, on the other hand, has kind of had a somewhat spotty career, at least in films. Andrew Gregory's been in, like, Last Temptation of Christ and Demolition Man, and that's kind of it. But I'm sure, like his character in this movie, he can talk to you a whole lot about the theater. And that's the thing, this movie's definitely kind of like a love letter to stage productions, and it definitely feels like some sort of, minimal theater, something perhaps in vein of, like, Waiting for Godot, maybe? So for a movie this unassuming, and this jarringly experimental and primal, whatever else, it's gotta be, like, the most inoffensive movie of that type, most family-friendly, without even intending to be, obviously. I mean, it's just, I don't know, it's quite unique, isn't it? And it's also very meta. It's about a playwright and a stage director, and they wrote a thing that they act out about their real life. It's just, levels. It seems strange, but it's actually surprisingly engaging to watch pretty much a one-sided conversation for 2 hours. I think at the time it was maybe more looked at as kind of, bold, and now it's almost, tame or something. Not that it's been really imitated much, but, now it just seems like something that you would watch more to see the progression of film over the years than something that you would want to enjoy. And that's kind of, I guess, the only problem I would have with this movie is, like, I really enjoyed it, but it's like, am I gonna say, hey, what should I do tonight? Watch My Dinner with Andre? I don't know. I feel like I don't have to watch it a whole bunch. But the movie's charm just kind of grows on you as it goes along, and the characters sort of start to, show their true selves and become more likable as it goes along as well. And the movie's also pretty humorous, lightly humorous, witty, if you will. And sometimes the humor isn't always just what Andre's saying, but how he says it. I will say, however, that this movie is definitely not for everyone, and it's a pretty polarizing one. Maybe one of the most polarizing movies I've done on this channel. Definitely not everyone's going to be down for this one, and even if you are, it's like you just got to be in the mood for it, I guess. This one's also probably one of the only ones I'll do that's a real critic's darling and a viewer favorite as well. It's really hard to criticize at the end of the day. I mean, obviously not everyone's going to like it, but I mean, man, there's not really a lot to object to at the same time. I guess really at the most that you can say is that it can get tedious, and yeah, it is kind of meandering and directionless, but that's also kind of the point, and I don't know. This really feels almost like an art film more than something that's trying really hard to be an art film.
The real reason I'm hiding down here is there's a monster.
Not only does the movie feel like it was made for playwrights and actors, but it's also got that still, gritty-looking New York City landscape, especially that completely awful looking, graffiti laced subway car. It's great. The conversations are interesting. I especially like the ones where it starts getting into the, self-consciousness, self-awareness stuff. And if there's one thing everyone who likes this movie says, it's that, oh, you don't need a lot of money or sets and characters and things to make a movie, successfully entertaining. Oh, and also don't forget, there are 2 cuts of this movie that I know of. There's a shorter one at about an hour and 20-something minutes, and then the longer cut is about an hour and 7 minutes. Be sure to get the one that's 57 minutes, because, hey man, they had to cut out about a half hour, and that third act, it got pretty bloody. I tell you, just taking limbs off left and right. I don't know how they managed to get a PG-13 rating for that, I really don't. But they had to take it out, so, no, I honestly don't know what that half hour of material is. I mean, I don't know. Just, if it's already going to be a movie like that, just fucking leave it in there. Everyone who's going to watch it is going to continue watching. I don't know. But yeah, I kind of got to go with the tide on this one. I mean, it's pretty much a classic and should be looked at as such. Well, that's about it for me. I don't know. Signing off. I guess I should make a review of a Scottish movie soon since I was over there and stuff. But anyway, you know what, friends? Just do the dishes today. Even if your brother and sister or roommate or boyfriend or girlfriend or parents or whatever, or your cat's dishes are in there, just do it. It's a nice gesture. Stay soap dish.